Alright, the next guitar I'm going to build is a Firebird neck through, multi-laminate neck through. Got a little bit left to finish on it. What's nice about a neck through is there are a lot of vendors out there that provide blanks where you can just glue on the body wings and be done. So if you have a custom shape in mind and you just want to make a guitar, you can buy a neck through blank. This is from Carvin. It's a maple neck blank. Beautiful piece of wood, nice fretboard. They've already done all the fretting. They give you a headstock to make the headstock shape that you want. You know, there's not a lot of options in terms of inlay, but you know, it's a 24 fret fretboard with enough to do a body. It's hard to do a Les Paul because they don't give you enough here. So this was, I think, $219 from Carvin. I'm actually impressed with it. The only thing I don't like is that the neck blank, the carve here is a little bit too thin for my liking. I was hoping that they'd leave a little bit more meat so you could do your own carving. If you're going the cheap option, you can find Bulldog on eBay, and this is a Chinese neck blank. It's fretted. Again, it's, you know, East Indian rosewood as before, with dots, 24 frets. The problem I have with this guitar neck is that the truss rod is crooked, and I don't know if that goes the whole way through. It's also got a seal on it already, so you got to sand that off before you glue this on, and I really don't like doing that. I mean, what's the point of, you know, doing this if you got to already do so much work, even for a little bit more. The fretboard has some run out here, and then, you know, it's a 5-paddle. I just don't really like it. You know, I do like the volute that they've got. That's nice and beefy. The profile is a little bit thick. But even here, you know, this whole neck needs to be sanded again because you can feel the walnut inlay. So it wasn't sanded properly. And so the combination of things with this, I would not spend the money on this. This was $160 from Bulldog on eBay. It's going back, you know, specifically because of the truss rod. I don't know if this is crooked the whole way through, so if you go to tighten it, you'll get a twist. But I would avoid doing that. You know, this is a neck blank that I made years ago. It's full of errors, but I've kept it just to kind of sit on it. You know, you don't have to do a straight taper, you know, like this does. You can actually have the taper going the whole way through the neck and then just glue on the wing. So there's a lot of different options you can do. It doesn't have to look like this if you're starting from scratch. Like I said, if you got a custom shape that you just want to glue wings onto, this is it. What's really cool when you get going, there's a couple different options. Like I said, this is a Firebird with like a 7-piece neck. You know, it goes all the way through. You can do an angle on the body and an angle on the headstock, or you could just leave it flat here and put a Hardtail Bridge. So this is going to have a Gibson style bridge because I've got a 3-degree angle off the neck and I'll have enough room to put a bridge. Or if you just have this all flat, you can put a Strat hardtail. There's a couple different options of doing something yourself. It's just doing the straight neck through. And what you can do is you can cut the body down and still use a standard Gibson bridge, or you can recess the bridge if you don't have the ability to do that. I don't really like the look of a recessed bridge, but I had enough wood with this piece where I cut this down and essentially took a 1/4 inch off the whole top. This is Corinna neck through V. Guitar sounds awesome. Or you can do a half V. This is actually my first custom designed guitar that I had made 10 years ago. Still got it. It's full of errors, but I still like holding on to it. What I did is I cut essentially a tenon out and just slid this in, clamped it, glued it. It recessed a little bit in. I had to recess the bridge. You know, this one's not perfect, but I'll see some guys do this where they only cut it halfway through and leave a body. You know, this is a figured ash. It was pretty easy to glue. And once you cut this on a bandsaw, you know, you can file this flat. So you got a lot of different options with the neck through. I think if you're building your first guitar and you don't know where you want to start, I would definitely buy a Carvin. Stu Mack sells this as well with an ebony board. But Carvin and StewMac sell these. You know, it's a great way to get started. All the hard, difficult fretwork is done. You know, essentially you're just gluing the body wings on, cutting out your shape, shaping your headstock, and drilling. And this is a real easy way to go. You know, for $200, and you get some wood. This would be the path I would start if I was a beginning guitar builder. I wouldn't go with a Strat or a Tele, because you got to worry about doing a neck pocket. Here, all the work is done for you. I'm actually going to take this carving neck. I'm going to make a Rick copy out of this next. I'm going to do all maple with rosewood. I'll be finishing this video here next, and that's the next video to come up.